Welcome to the series on Python. Today we'll be looking into the features of Python. Let us start. The first one is easy learning. For a person who has very basic programming language, it is very easy to start learning Python and start coding in it. It is as easy as using simple English words to tell the computer what you want to do using a program. Next is hassle-free coding. There is no need to use unnecessary braces, semicolons, etc. to code in Python. You just have to ensure you have proper indentations and colons marked to ensure your code works properly. Next, it is open source and free. Open source is where your code is freely available to everyone to see. It is free to download and free to use. You're also free to modify the Python code and redistribute it as well. Next, it supports two programming paradigms, object-oriented and procedure. Object-oriented is where you use classes and objects to manage your data, and procedure-oriented is where you use procedures to manage your data. Python supports both of these paradigms. Next up, we have platform independence. Any Python code written in any platform, say for example on Windows platform, can be run in any other platform, say a Linux platform, without any changes as is. It is dynamically typed. In other languages like Java or C, you need to declare a variable to be able to use it. But in Python, you simply have to assign a value to a variable to start using it. Python will automatically infer the type of the variable from the data assigned to it. And you can reuse the same variable to store different kinds of data. It supports libraries which help you to develop graphical user interface applications as well as applications that use data from the database. This strong library support is a very big plus point of Python. Next up, we have it is a high-level language. Python programmers need not know system-level programming or assembly language to code in Python. You have to write a code using simple English to run your code on the computer. Next, it is extensible. Extensibility is where you are able to use the APIs written in one language in another language. So if you want to use Python's APIs in say C or C++, you can go ahead and do it with just some simple steps that you have to follow. This is called extensibility. Next, we have interpreted. Python is run using an interpreter and not a compiler. Interpreter will basically run your program line by line and it will break the execution as and when it encounters an error in your code. So this makes it very easy to debug your program in Python. Next, it has a very large collection of modules have in its libraries, and it is ever growing by the strong Python community. So you need not write code from scratch. Next, it's very easy to understand the Python code because of its indentations. So it is very easy to go through someone else's code in Python and understand. We look at some practice questions. Python is developed under the Dash license. OSI approved open source, proprietary, OSI approved copyleft, permissive. The answer is OSI approved open source, option A. Next, Python uses Dash to run the code. Compiler, interpreter, IDE or framework. The answer is obviously option B, interpreter. The programming paradigms supported by Python: logic, declarative, object-oriented, procedural. Yes, both C and D. It supports both object-oriented and procedural paradigms. Here are some questions that you can use to assess your understanding about the concepts that we have explained here. Feel free to mail us at the given mail ID to know the answers to these questions. Thank you.